What's my full name?
Oh, come on.
What is it?
Mrs. Annie Prophet.
What's my maiden name?
Annie Goldie.
Annie Goolahee? Where in God's name did I grow up? Dog Patch?
Oh, no, not there. Over in Goober, Idaho. That's a nuclear waste dump.
Where did I meet you?
Hank's Donut World? Seattle? You used to hang out there every night when you were still in the Navy. You remember?
I was in the armed forces?
Well, I think I still got some of those postcards you sent me from Okinawa.
The Navy?
Oh, come on, honey. You gotta know you were in the Navy.
No, I don't know. I don't know any of this, and I don't know you.
Hey guys, welcome to the Large Marge Sent Us podcast, your favorite podcast that covers all the hits from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, whatever the next year is called.
Have we done a 70s movie yet?
Yes, we've done two.
That was the 60s.
I'm going to drop that. It sounds like a radio host. It's like kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Your hits from the 80s, 90s,
I'm your
and
host,
70s.
Sweetie.
And I'm your host, Annie Goolahee.
That's not your name.
I know. I'm Sweetie.
And today we covered
Overboard.
What is that? The theme? The fiddle theme?
I was like, what are you doing? Are you?
It's like a country theme.
Yeah. Are you at a square dance right now? Weird. I guess we're keeping the trend going of family hits. I put this in our Sweetie movie canon of like the movies we always watched as a family, including the one we did last week. Baby Boom was one. Overboard.
Big.
And then
Adventures in
Babysitting.
We've
Yeah.
done
we're
through
trying
the
to cover
canon
them, but
pretty well.
But this one we always watch. Every time it was on TV, we would watch it. That's really the only place I remember watching this
I know. I was
movie.
going to say, I don't remember ever watching a non-edited one.
Right,
And when
we found out tonight when we realized how many swears and
I think
bad words there
some
were.
different scenes.
Really?
I had never heard that Roddy McDowell scene.
Yeah, it
It's
happened.
in there?
It
Okay.
happened. You were just busy doing something else. I don't know what, but
Story of my
wow, yeah.
life.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Spoiler: Sweetie cried.
I got choked up. So Overboard, made in 1987, starring Goldie Hawn, a national treasure, if I do say so myself.
Yes.
Right up there with Diane Keaton.
Which is funny because they star in one of our other favorite movies, The First Wives Club. Such a good one. We'll do that
So
one
good.
soon also.
Also starring Kurt Russell.
Russell.
Oh my God, so cute. Just want to squeeze him in his little plaid shirts and his tight jeans.
He makes Sweaty look good, you guys.
Oh, he's just the cutest
So
little face.
good.
Who else? Edward Herman, who everyone I think knows. Some people know from The Father and the Good Gilmore Girls and watched that show.
Oh.
Long Hair Don't Care.
Was he in like a British show?
No, but he was Richie Rich's dad.
No, he was in like a British show, and we were like, "That? Do you know who that is? That's like something you watched." I thought.
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well,
And if anyone has ever read the book Unbroken, the audio version, he's a narrator and he's so good. He does
Maybe
a lot of
that's what I'm
voiceover.
thinking.
He does a
Yeah.
lot of voiceover.
Maybe
stuff,
that's what I'm
but
thinking.
yeah, he's excellent. The mother Mona from Who's the Boss
oh yeah.
is Joanna's mother, and Jared Rushton, who, if you've been following our Instagram account, please check it out.
She did it.
This is our last movie with Jared Rushton, who was also in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and of course Billy Kopecki in Big.
Was he only in 3 movies ever?
No, but like the ones that like made it. I mean, they're pretty big.
Maybe
80s
we should
movies.
watch those other ones just in case we
Yeah,
find
I
a
don't
hidden gem. I don't know. I don't want to give up.
I
don't
think
want to give up so
sounds
easily.
like this was one of his first films, and he's a little tiny baby in this.
It was his first film. It said
Yeah.
introducing. It was all of the kids' first
Yeah.
films, I think. So, yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of real winners in this movie, and directed by Gary Marshall.
I know.
Very cool.
I had no idea.
Yeah, learned that for the first time today. Read in the trivia that he thought it was like one of his funniest films, or the funniest film.
Sure.
So
Pretty good.
Go
Yep.
Gary, go GM.
Go Gary.
Go
Go
Gary.
Gary. It's your birthday. You made a good movie called Overboard. Uh-huh.
God, your cat just clawed my leg.
Well, you don't have the blanket on.
Damn. Okay. I'll let you start the synopsis while I get a blanket.
Okay.
Ready?
Give me one. Give me one too.
Synopsis. Yeah.
Sweeties. Joanna Staten is a rich bitch, let's say. Her and her husband Grant are on their yacht sailing across the Pacific Northwest. They have docked in the quaint town of Elk Cove, Oregon. Oregon. Do you say Oregon or Oregon?
It's Oregon.
I know, but I don't know.
I used to say Oregon for real.
Okay. Oh, okay. See, that's where I got that from.
Just like I say Iraq.
I don't think that matters.
It does.
I don't think it's the same thing. I think it's just a preference. Anyways, so they are in Oregon, and they have stopped a while, and Joanna decides she needs a new closet. She calls a local carpenter named Dean Prophet, who comes over to do the closet, but quickly realizes she's a terrible person and is very mean to him. They are like the worst kind of rich people, I guess. Maybe a little exaggerated, but I mean, pretty awful. They say mean things to Dean. They call him like, is he house trained? Oh, blah, blah, blah. Stuff like that.
Horrible.
Yeah.
And he makes the mistake of making the closet out of oak instead of cedar. Joanna gets very upset and refuses to pay him, kicks him off the boat, and he's now shit out of luck with no money.
And throws his tools overboard, too.
And has no tools anymore. Yacht sails off. She's on her way. Dean goes back to his house, which has 4 little boys in it and no mom. You learn that his wife died 3 years ago, and they just moved to this area recently. And Dean's struggling a little bit. I mean, he's a single dad now with 4 kids who are kind of problem children. They have no discipline. He doesn't want to discipline them. I think he feels bad. The mom died, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, next day, we're back on the yacht. Joanna has misplaced her wedding rings. She left them on the deck when she was getting a manicure. Goes out in the middle of the night, and there's whoever is manning the boat is falling asleep. It's sort of like tossing back and forth.
Has fallen asleep, not just fallen asleep while driving the boat, has fallen asleep with his legs in between the steering wheel.
Note to self: do not drive a yacht with your legs.
Like, what? You wouldn't even do that if you were awake. I'm just very confused about that.
It's a poor choice of hiring for the assistant captain, if I do say so myself. Anyways, the boat's rocking back and forth, and what happens? She falls off. It's the middle of the night. The little butler has headphones on. He can't hear. Grant, her husband, is like so used to her like squawking all the time. He just blocks it out. So she's in the water. Presumably should have died. She had no life jacket. Yeah. It was pitch black, freezing water. I mean, I guess it's summer, but still.
And weren't they pretty far offshore?
Yeah.
Because they left a while ago.
I mean, good thing this is a comedy because it could have been a tragedy.
Yeah, a little serious.
Right.
However, some fishermen find her washed up. They take her to the hospital or a psych ward or something. And it turns out she has amnesia, so she has no idea who she is or where she comes from. Her husband, Grant, sees this on the news, goes over to identify her, but the last minute is like, oh, I hate her. Never mind, I don't know her, and leaves. Dean sees this on the news also and forms an ingenious / creepy and illegal plan in his head, which he will go to the hospital and pretend that she is his wife and take her back home with him so that she can kind of be his slave / wife / same thing.
Right. So the whole point is that she ripped him off. She didn't pay him. So he's really using it to get back at her, but also to like, quote unquote, like, she has to work off the money that he is owed. So, looking at this with an eye of the 2017s, soup creepy. I mean, what the fuck? Good thing these people are adorable and it has a sweet, happy ending. But honestly, like, creeps it.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to make this movie today.
No way.
Never in a million years. It's just... I wrote down at first, I was like, is this like rape apology? But then I was like, wait, I guess that's stretching it too far. Although not really, because I mean, I know he wasn't going to sleep with her like that first night, but he like kisses her and like,
and
all
he's
this.
so sexual.
Yeah, so sexual.
Trying, but like in the guise of trying to just creep her out. Like he was just trying to be a jerk.
Yeah, he
on
wasn't
purpose.
actually trying to like get laid, but it's just very scary. And how they treat her is just so awful.
Right.
And that she doesn't really have a choice because she doesn't know who she is. So she's kind of like forced. So I think that's what made me think of that. But yeah.
So the
be able to make it
whole
today.
like first couple, let's say weeks, I don't know what the timeline is for this movie really.
yeah.
So she is like never cleaned or cooked, doesn't have kids, is a rich person, so is like a real fish out of water here as a housewife and doesn't know what she's doing. So the whole first half of the movie is her like navigating, trying to figure out like how to be a housewife. I mean, she's never done this before. So that provides like all of the first round comedy. And then she really settles in. She learns like so quickly and seems to really enjoy it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what the lesson is there.
I think we can pull up your friend Andrew's magical quote from the end of the film, and we'll summarize that at the end. Yeah. But yeah, she forms a bond. She starts to really love the kids first, I think, and then starts to fall in love with Dean, and then they have this magical moment where he's almost going to tell her the truth, but then chickens out and tells her, "Oh, I forgot your birthday," and they have this great night, and they end up having sex for the first time. She falls in love. She helps him with his mini golf course idea. Then when they're coming back from that, after everything's been so great for whoever knows how long, I don't think it was that. I don't think it could have been that long.
Well, remember he was like, I figure like a month she'd like work off like what
but
she
that was
owed
just
me.
what he wanted. But I'm wondering like how persistent was her mother in trying to like how long would you go without an answer from your daughter?
Right. So I feel like a month is probably accurate.
Yeah.
And like, and also like the amnesia lasting, that long or whatever.
They built a golf course in that amount of
Right.
time.
Right. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of shitty. Okay.
I need answers, Gary.
Yeah. So we don't know what the timeline, but anyway, so they end up
Gary's
falling in love.
Was Gary dead?
Yeah,
Gary's
dead.
dead.
He's here.
No.
We can't phone a friend Gary. Ask Gary.
Yeah.
No. So they end up basically falling in love, and unfortunately, that is also timed with Grant coming back to Elk Cove because the mom insisted. Joanna's mom is like, "Where the hell is my daughter? Like, produce her immediately." He has to go back. He's been on like some bachelor shindigs, like sleeping with prostitutes for like the whole month on his yacht. Goes back to Elk Cove to fetch her, and she sees him, and immediately her memory comes back. She goes, "Oh, hi, Grant. Like, I got to put these flowers in water." He was like waiting at the house after they came back from the opening of the golf course. Mm-hmm. Memory in place.
Back.
And at first she's like, "Oh my God, Dean, best day of my life. I got my memory back. Like, it's all your fault. I'm so..." And then she's like, "Wait a minute. Why did you do this to me?" And I don't know what, like, my reaction would be once I realized someone who I thought was my husband is not my husband, and that they tricked me and that is a fucking betrayal.
Do all that shit. Yeah. Was mean to me, made me sleep on the couch with the dogs, put me in a water barrel. I don't know. I'd be pretty mad.
Right.
So, yeah. So they take her away. She's upset. The kids are upset. But eventually she realizes, I do belong with Dean, so she tries to turn the boat around. Dean and the kids go after her with the help of the Coast Guard, courtesy of his friend Billy, who was in the Coast Guard at some point. ? I think that's debatable. And they find her, and there's a great love scene at the end where they both dive into the water, and they find each other, and they're in love. Yay! And turns out, the money's all hers, so they're going to be rich. They don't have to worry about it no more. And we leave on the note that they'll probably have another baby together. She wants a girl, but I'm like, sister, it's a 50-50 chance. Like, sister, you might get another boy, and you'll be in trouble.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Really great. Really heartwarming there at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Sweetie cried. She cried like twice,
I'm
to be
telling
honest.
you. I don't know what is with the romance with me in these days.
I mean, it's a great scene. It's build up. They tell this story during her birthday, her faux birthday of Katrina and Arturo, and this legend of how they like tried to find each other in the sea, and then they drowned, and now every time you see the foam shooting up, it's them making love. So they kind of recreate that at the end. So it's really nice, and there's that music again that just gets you a straight shot to the heart every time.
Right, and they really loved each other, and she was in a loveless marriage to that stupid Grant, who they were just together for who even knows why. And she like figured out that she did want kids and a family, and like that money didn't matter, and like she'd always just had that life and never seen like the other side of it. And when she did, was she's like, this is amazing when you have someone who loves you and cares about you, and you have these kids who adore you, and you want to take care of them, and it's like just it's a nice message at the end, I'd say.
For sure.
Sprinkled in with some hilarious comedy Goldie Hawn is like nails this movie. If there was like, well, I'm sure obviously there were Golden Globes at this time. You know how comedies can like be nominated for Golden Globes, as we just had the Golden Globe Awards. I would have nominated for her for this. Man, she is good.
So
especially
good.
when she's
So good.
snobby in the beginning. When she like kind of softens up, like not as interesting, but like her rich bitchy lady is the fucking best, and it's very similar to what she does in First Wives Club too. I mean, she's not mean in that, but like she plays a really good. I don't know what you call that, like not
like
necessarily-
stuck up
Yeah.
or like
rich, clueless
rich
person. Yeah,
yeah.
sort of like smart rich person, but also clueless because they just like don't.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if you've ever seen Private Benjamin, but
No, I
same
always
kind
wanted
of
to see that.
same kind of thing. I think that's definitely her wheelhouse, so to speak. But yeah, she is just some marvelous comedic timing, and I
just like Diane Keaton,
right?
I feel
And
like
that's
she's,
why
like,
they were a match made in
hasn't.
heaven in the First Wives Club, and why it's the best movie ever.
I know.
So good. So, important question. What do you call her fashion sense in the beginning? What would you call that?
Well, like all of the fashion. So I think I'll have to do
especially the beginning, like
some Instagram
yacht.
posts on this. Yeah. Well, even when she like comes back and it's slightly toned down,
yeah.
but yeah. So loves the fucking glitter, first of all.
Sequins,
Specifically sequins. Everything is sequined. Super high cut bathing suits. Insane hats. That one when she's like sunbathing on the deck and it has like a blonde braid attached to it. Remember?
Oh yeah, kind of.
And she's speaking French.
Oh yeah, when she's wearing like the thong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like the one with the fruit on the hat, those crazy sunglasses.
And like kind of ironic, like sailor themed outfits.
Yeah.
Like
And her hair's always like super tight and like gelled
Yeah.
in these like buns on her head with
does it not
bows.
fall out, or how does she not get a migraine? Is my question.
know.
But yeah, I will say that her fashion sense kind of freaked me out when I was
Yeah.
little because of the high cut bathing suits. Really made me very nervous when I was a child. I was like very concerned about pubic hair, and I was like, "Where is that?"
She
Where
did
is
not
the
have a
pubic
name,
hair?
I'm sure.
I know. I figured it out after a
That's
while.
just so
but-
it was just so like 80s rich though.
Yeah.
That, like very tacky. Like it looked horrible, and like knowing how much that shit probably was would like astound you, but it's like so tacky and ridiculous. Now like rich people, that stuff kind of blends in because it's just like nice quality stuff. But then it was like, oh, nightmare. Yeah, she's the best though. I just like kept writing down just like random lines of hers and I'm like obsessed with.
Do you have a specific favorite outfit of hers?
Outfit. Well, I really do like that gold dress at the end.
I know. I only like it without the shrug though. When it's just the actual dress.
Yeah.
It's like too much with the shrug, but when she takes it off, it's like nice.
It's kind of like fitted, but then it's like A-line.
Yeah.
Like the skirt's A-line. Yeah. I really
it's
love
nice.
that. I like her hair when it's like in that like kind of cool ponytail with like the bangs up top. Fashion. Yeah. So I don't know like what we want to start with as talking about this film. I don't know, favorite scenes, favorite lines.
Just go
Was
whatever
you
your
want to
heart, whatever your heart's speaking.
Okay, so I think one of our favorite scenes, like at least mine, is so she's in the hospital, and at this point, Dean has seen her on the TV and has hatched his little plan. So he goes to the hospital, and he basically like is like, "Hey, that's my wife," and she's like, no. Like you could be some stranger off the street. Like, how do you know? How do I know? Like I'm your wife." And he starts like spinning all these crazy lies, which are like hysterical. And basically lying is his best skill because he does it so easily throughout the entire movie to tell her. And like maybe part of it was like based on the life of his actual wife. That part is like unclear. You don't know, like, was Annie his wife's name?
Maybe.
Did she grow up in Goober, Idaho? Was she in the Navy?
I just considered him a really good at improvising.
Yeah.
Like if he was in a comedy troupe, an improv troupe, he would be awesome.
my God.
He just went with it. Like anything that got thrown at him, he had an answer and a great story.
Yeah.
So
So
I mean,
they're in,
props to him.
they're like he's basically like telling her like her life story because she doesn't know it. She has amnesia, and so there's like a couple lines in there where she's like you're Annie Prophet, and she's like, what's my maiden name? And he's like, Goldie. Where'd I grow up? Dog Patch. No, Goober, Idaho. Like, blah, blah, blah. How did we meet? Oh, blah, blah, blah. You were on leave, like, from the Navy. I was in the armed forces. You gotta know, hun. You were in the Navy. In the Navy.
It's great. Yeah, that scene's pretty marvelous. Also, yeah, really all the scenes before she turns into nice Annie Prophet are just so great. She's in the back of the truck, and she's like, I just ate a bug. Just the way she delivers lines are just so classic. And we talk about lines to use in everyday life. We use at least, I wrote down 6 of the ones that I use the most frequently, but I'm sure, I mean, there has to be many more that I left out, but yeah.
So what were your 6?
Okay, so they are. So, eat your checkers in the hospital. We say that all the time when someone's kind of annoying
we're
us.
just like, shut up.
Yeah, we're like, go away. Eat your checkers.
Eat your checkers.
I just
Wait,
ate a bug.
But would you explain why that is, like what that line's about?
Oh, well, she's in the hospital, and there's this, it's the psych ward, so there's this kind of old guy, like, playing checkers, and as he's playing with the checkers, he eats them, and they kind of, like, crunch. Yeah, they kind of crunch, but it's like, what kind of checkers are those? So that's why she says, eat your checkers.
I'm impressed that was an IMDb trivia where there was like,
oh, yeah, what were the checkers
the
made out of?
checkers were actually Oreos painted red or something.
Yeah, it must have been chips. I don't know. It's weird. I just ate a bug, which I actually have used before on a bicycle, for instance. When a bug like will fly into my eye, I'll be like, I just ate a bug. It's pretty great. When she meets little Joe for the first time, and he's talking he's in his Pee Wee Herman stage, so he's saying everything like, hi, Mom, it's me, Joe. And she's like, a falsetto child? I loved just the great
like that.
I know the great thing about Goldie Hawn is that just her delivery is so great. So when I was a child, I had no idea what a falsetto child meant or why that was funny, but just the way that she delivered it made it so funny. So that's why I think I really loved those lines so much.
A falsetto child?
She's like so confused. The kids have to get her these dresses. They don't know he didn't tell her what size to get, so they just get dresses, which are these like giant rags of fabric, basically, that she is like, why is this so big? And he's like, honey, you did lose a lot of weight. And then she's like, was I also short? Was I also 3 feet
meant
shorter?
that like she lost weight like whoa.
What did you
oh my
do?
God.
Sorry, big cat noise.
Do you think he meant she lost weight like since she fell off the boat?
Well, I mean, that would be the...
Because why were those dresses still in her closet?
That's the conclusion she would have logically drawn, but I think her mind was just so addled that she was just not, making logical sense. But yeah, so then he tells her, oh, they had sex on their first date or whatever, because he's trying to like get her getting all sexual to make her uncomfortable. So she goes to bed and she's like upset, right? She's on the couch. Yeah, he makes her sleep on the couch with the dogs, and she goes, I'm a short, fat slut. And is sad about it. Love that. And then my favorite one, or second, I guess I kind of put these in order, but Desmond, stop making ruckus. She says when she's in the water barrel, he puts her in because she's like comatose, and he dumps her in, and she goes, oh, my life is like death. Which I love to say when I'm just having a really bad day and things are just going terribly wrong. And then the last one is my favorite one for some reason. Little Joe, my favorite character. When the kids are mad that Dean's trying to tell her the truth, and little Joe's like, we like her, Dad.
You got to say it like that.
Yeah, and it's just,
we like her, Dad.
It's like, I don't, like, I use that whenever, like, you are saying something,
or like, why do you like that?
And I don't want to do it or something.
Or like,
I
like it. Like,
oh yeah, we like her, Dad. I don't know. It's great. It's just something I do. I just have a good time. That's it. Those
I
are the
discovered
6.
a new line
Oh.
on this watching.
Do tell.
when like Andrew in the beginning brings her the caviar, and like
yeah.
Dean has just gotten there to like build the closet, and then so she tries it on the cracker, and then she goes, "What is this gelatinous muck?"
Yeah, that'll be a good one to use.
Andrew, when I tell you to pack seals, I tell you to pack the good caviar, not this fish bait. Caviar should be round, hard, and explode in your mouth. And then like Dean like flips
Exactly
the tape.
the right time. Yeah.
Sexual.
Oh yeah, I guess I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Good line. And I love the part where she's like kind of freaking out because when he like so in the beginning he like basically when she refuses to pay him and then is going to kick him off the boat, she like gives her a, what do you call it, talking down to. Mm-hmm. And no one ever talks back to her. She only has had yes men, let's say, yes people, ding, her whole life. So he was finally like, you rich bitch, you're just bored. And basically like all of her worst fears like being addressed to her. But no one ever talks to her like that because she's rich. And she like freaks out about it for a couple days. But like when she kicks him off the boat, remember, she's like, everybody wants to be me. I just love that, and I'm gonna say that to myself when I'm down on myself, having a bad self-esteem day.
Good one.
Everyone wants to be me.
It is a good one.
Good one.
Good ones to add to the list.
Add to the collection.
What else you got?
I'd like to talk about one scene that I find quite disturbing. Mm-hmm. The lunch scene. So she is tasked with packing the kids' lunches like the first or second day that she's like in this house with all these kids. And it just disturbed me when I watched this movie that she would be making sandwiches and putting them in the brown paper bag with like no wrapping, just without anything on. And then she puts, which actually just realized on this watch, mayonnaise on it. I always thought it was Fluffernutter because white. And then sticks Reese's Pieces into the sandwich bread.
It's
so disturbing.
She's trying to like dump like M&Ms or whatever into the bag, but then some of them fall, so she just like sticks them on the sandwich.
And like we had really good like homemade lunches. My dad was like the gourmet chef. He was like Wolfgang Puck of like packed lunches. Remember, he like packed such good stuff. Yes. Little roll-ups and like always chips and a dessert, zebra cakes. We had the most complete packed lunches ever.
Sidebar. Which were your favorite variety of zebra cakes?
Okay. First,
so like they had these holiday ones.
Christmas tree.
Okay, me too.
Okay.
It was just something about the shape and the sprinkles on the top.
That yellow cake inside was so good.
But a close second for me was the Valentine's Day heart.
Yes, that was good.
I don't know why.
And then third, the original zebra cake.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So we always had like such a complete lunch. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Loved it so much. Dad, thank you for those.
Big ups.
Big ups. So it was disturbing to me knowing like how good our lunches were, to see those lunches, like a loose sandwich in a brown paper bag.
I mean, she has literally no clue what
but I think that
goes in a lunch.
So
Things have always just been brought to her.
Right.
So no clue. And she was probably just improvising that whole scene. So she's just like, make it look like you have no idea what you're doing. So.
I read like a lot of Gary Marshall films. He does ask for a lot of improvisation. Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
There you have it.
Totally. So that was your disturbing scene?
Yep, I was disturbed. Makes me cringe.
Crazy. Do you have any questions? Should we get into questions? Sweetie questions?
Sweetie questions. Yeah. I guess I had one question about the 80s laundry equipment. Though I guess it wasn't the 80s. Like, those were, like, dated, some old laundry stuff.
Well, no, but that goes back to, like, my question. So they just moved there. I don't think he took the old washing machine and clothes wringer out. He moved there. You know, like, I feel like he just bought that dilapidated shack with all the broken down trucks outside and the weird stuff in the shed.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So the laundry stuff was there, but like the washing machine is basically like this sink that like also has a thing that like stirs the clothes around in it, I guess.
But you know, she figures out how to use it, which I feel like
she does.
Hey, is props, because I would not know who uses washing machines a lot.
And is that thing that like, you know what? I bet that thing was squeeze the water out of the clothes, the ringy thing, because I thought it was an iron first, but like
No,
that's
it's a clothes
iron.
wringer.
Yeah,
it's like a dry before you put it on the
on the
clothesline.
clothesline because they didn't have a dryer.
Because I don't know if you've ever tried to wring out your clothes by hand, but it
so
kills
wet.
this weird muscle in your arm that you never knew you
and the
had.
clothes are also soaked.
Yeah. So sometimes in college, like the washing machine would be broken, and my clothes would not have been spun, and I'd have to wring them all by hand. And I had there's this weird muscle in your arm that you did not know existed until you have to wring clothes by hand. Yeah. Oh, so
remember in our
painful.
old apartment? So Sweetie and I used to live together, and we had laundry in our house. Like we were on the first floor, and it was in the basement, but it was coin op. So, and the dryer fucking sucked. Remember how much that dryer sucked?
Yeah.
And we'd have to use so many quarters.
Well, that's because you put too much stuff in the dryer.
Yeah. So you couldn't put a lot of stuff in the dryer, but we'd like try to do so many clothes because we didn't want to pay for like as many
speak for
loads.
yourself.
Yeah. So learn that the hard way.
Frugal sweetie.
Couple years in. Anyway, so like one time though, like the washing machine did not work. Remember it was like flooded. And so like the stuff was soaked in there. So I had to take it all soaking wet. It literally
Bring it out,
took
freezing
a
cold.
week to dry like hand dry in the apartment. I remember being like,
Why are you hand drying?
no, like
the dryer didn't break. The dryer was
No.
working.
Something with the dryer like wasn't working or something, or I didn't have enough to dry. I don't know. So I like wring as well as I could out and put everything all like draped all over the living room. Literally like 5 days later, I'm like, these pants must be dry now. And they're like still soaked.
It's just like I don't understand clotheslines. Like how do clothes not get frozen solid
They
into
do.
blocks of ice when
They
you
do.
do that in colder weather? Okay, thank you. But like, yeah, terrible thing.
I know.
So confusing. Yeah, good question.
Okay, yeah, but yeah, it just seemed like antiquated laundry equipment, which she does get a new washing machine, and it's like the highlight of her life.
Yeah, that is
Though,
very sweet.
like, totally do not ever buy your wife a fucking wash machine for her birthday.
Well, right. This whole movie
Taboo.
This whole movie was kind of like
Super sexist.
the magic of women.
Yeah.
You can just come in and clean your whole house, just even though she's never cleaned in her life, just had this instinct to clean the house perfectly, which is. Some women are not great cleaners, are not good at organizing. Some men are great at cleaning and organizing.
Who are super, super messy.
So you're right. So, but it's kind of I have a conflict kind of watching it this time.
Me too.
Because I was like, it's so funny, but there's so much wrong.
So much wrong. Like, right. And like, it's hard to hold these childhood favorites and you're going to be like, oof, like there is like a lot. I mean, that was her supposed role in this house, even though like it wasn't because she wasn't the real wife, but that like, I don't know, just like, and he was just such a pig to her in the beginning. And you know that he's really not like that. And he's just doing it to be mean to her, but it's like really hard to stomach.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
And I love Kurt Russell and I don't want to see him be mean.
It's okay. He's nice. He's nice for real.
Sweet Kurt.
So I have some questions for you.
All right.
Number 1, favorite character, go.
Okay.
Wow.
Tie between Andrew, sweet butler, and the sweet little boy
Little
of
Joe.
the family. No, not little Joe.
Oh, what?
The actor one, who's really nice to her.
He's not the little boy.
The twins, one of the twins.
Okay.
Not
But is
Jared
he really
Rushton.
nice or is he just faking? It always seemed very fake to me.
Because he's an actor.
Yeah.
No, I think it's real.
Okay. All right. His name is something weird like Greg, and he
Yeah.
said it when he was introducing the kids, and I was like, really?
I know.
That's his name?
He's totally the forgotten sibling, but I really like him.
Yeah.
Anyway, who's yours?
Little Joe.
Little Joe.
Obsessed with Little Joe. When he gives her that macaroni necklace, I lose it every time. I just think it's so cute. Not cry, lose it like Sweetie, but just like like happy, just so sweet. Like I love that moment. He teaches her how. She teaches him how to read, and he gives her the necklace. He's like, "Are you gonna leave?" And she's like, "What? No." So sad.
And when
so
she
sweet.
is going to reunite with them, she's getting ready to jump off the boat. She remembers, like, the only thing she takes with her is the little macaroni necklace that she had.
I love it. It's my
Yeah.
favorite.
So cute.
Okay, least favorite character. Go.
Grant. Okay. It's
Mine
obvious.
is the annoying Coast Guard guy on the boat at the end. I always hated him.
Wait, the little kid, the guy?
Yes.
That's
Like,
Gary Marshall's
I
son.
I know. You said that, and I was like, damn it, and I already written it down. But I just hated him when I was little. I was
Well,
like,
his
oh,
voice
he's so
sounds
annoying.
like this. Man overboard,
Yeah.
Sir, there's a woman overboard. She's wearing an evening gown, sir.
quite a day. Like, what a
Quite a day at sea, sir.
Ugh, he bothers me. But yeah, that's that. Okay, next question. Is he still going to call her Annie?
Yeah.
As their life continues?
No. Well, and that's the part I hate at the end when, even though it's a super romantic romance, they're like swimming towards each other and then they embrace and they're making out in the water. It's like so romantic. And he goes, "You'll always be my Annie." And you're like, wait a minute, dude. Like, stop calling her Annie. Like, this is not good.
Which is super creepy, right? Because Annie was the name of his late wife.
Well, you never know that, but I
Oh.
feel like it is. I don't know. He just came up with that, and like it
maybe.
just seems so familiar to
Yeah,
him to
it'd
be
be
like
good to
Annie
know.
Prophet.
It's tricky because they just moved there. So how do they? I mean, nobody knows him. So
And that could be his cover too. If,
right.
Like
In
anything was
case
in the
they
house
ask-
said Annie Prophet.
oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
That's my theory.
Cool. And then I'm also wondering, how are they going to explain to people how they met? Like later down
Yeah.
the road, they'll be like at a party. How'd you guys meet?
Oh, funny
Well,
story.
interesting story. I fell off a boat. He pretended that he was my husband.
Basically, like kidnapped me and forced me to take care of his kids and clean up his house. And like convinced me I was his
But
wife.
it's okay because we fell in love. So that's an interesting cocktail party.
Yeah.
Last question. How can I get hooked up with a fancy dress cocktail hour on a yacht? That looks like fun.
Yeah.
It's just like, who gets dressed to the nines to
well,
go to the
especially the
cocktail
mother.
hour with the psychiatrist on the boat?
Who's wearing like pajamas, isn't he? Oh no, I'm thinking of the
later,
morning.
yeah.
But the mom is like crazy dressed up in every
Who's Joanna?
scene.
That's the gold dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is that just rich people?
Well, I think that's a
no,
stereotype
like,
they were making.
dressed down.
But
Yeah,
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 I'm like you. I mean, obviously you would do that.
Yeah, I
mean,
love
you do that now.
overdressing. I know,
Sweetie,
I'm
we
always
would get
overdressing.
home from work when we lived together, and Sweetie would like put on like jeans and a nice shirt or like a dress. I'd be like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Please put on
I'd be
pajamas."
like, putting on my comfy clothes.
Like, those are not your comfy clothes, and I get so mad. I think I've turned you to the dark side though. So
Why?
you wear
Because
like,
I have
pajamas
two
now.
pairs of slippers now.
Well, yeah, but you like to be cozy and wear. You've come over to my house with sweatpants now, so
Yeah,
I know.
I do love a good
I've turned you.
sweat.
Thank God.
I do love a good sweatsuit.
Thank God.
Yeah,
Yeah, whew, those are my questions.
good questions. Good questions.
You.
Shout out to Tofu Decline. I love. So there's like this hilarious part where he's like in LA and he like, I don't know if they're prostitutes or just like he calls them starlets,
I think they're just women who
actresses.
yeah,
wanna
who
be
want to
actresses.
be like the rich guy appeal, being on a yacht kind of thing.
So he like pulls up to LA and there's all these like girls like dancing on the furniture and like and he's like, I love all my starlets. He's like, what's your name again? And this girl's like, Tofu Decline.
What?
What is that name?
Yeah, what is that? Not real. Not
And
a
this
real
is
name.
prior to, if anyone knows, Tofuti, which are the tofu ice cream
Oh my
sandwiches
God.
I used to eat when I was lactose
Do you
intolerant for 4
think-
years in high school.
Do you think Tofuti Cuties
Yes.
were named after Tofuti Klein?
Yes.
I'm gonna Google it.
Well, it's just funny. Like Tofuti is so exotic, and her last name is Klein. Like,
It's weird.
and then there's this hilarious part where like Grant is like singing drunkenly into this giant seashell that's in his room. Like once Joanna's back on the boat, and he's like, I love the sound of the ocean now. Oh, Tofuti
weird.
Klein, where are you? Where I need you,
I just
Tofuti.
like to point out that somebody has made a Twitter account called Tofuti Klein.
Yes.
The latest tweets from Tofuti Klein. Hello, my name is Tofuti Klein. I will be on the boat partying with Grant if you need me. That's pretty great.
That's amazing.
Props to you, person who
Can't
created that
even.
account. There's something else I wanted to Google too. Oh, I wanted to see if Goober, Idaho was a real place.
Goober, Idaho. No, he just made that up.
Yeah. Doesn't look like it. Nuts. All right, well, mystery solved. I also would like to point out that did it say in the trivia that the band that plays at that club is like a real band?
Didn't say anything.
Because that drummer. So I would like to start a campaign where we bring back the drummer / lead singer trend. I think that's so funny. Such an 80s thing. Like the drummer had the headset on and was like drumming and be like, bam, bam, bam. He was like also the lead. Like, who does that?
Yeah,
It's pretty cool. pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I don't know how you could do that, but it happens. Wasn't
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury the drummer?
No.
No.
He was
Was
just
he
a singer.
a drummer?
No.
Who told me that? Dad?
Yeah, liar. Talk about
Everyone
things
lied to
people
me.
told you that ended up being a lie. So when we discussed doing this movie and Kurt Russell was in it, I was chatting with Sweetie over GChat and I was like, hey, remember that time that Mom convinced us that Kurt Russell was in The Sound of Music?
I don't remember
For
her
years.
convincing us.
I was like, wow, I can't believe Kurt Russell got his career in started the career in The Sound of Music as like one of the Von Trapp family children. Okay, so for the record, that is not true. However, I did a quick Google search a couple days ago, and he actually tried out for the role of Fritz. So it's not a total lie. So Snopes, what is that like lie thing where like figures out if it's a lie or not? Snopes or something.
Wait.
Snopes.com. It yeah.
Okay.
So that'd be like a
good
half
to know.
truth. So Mom, you're not a total liar. Thanks.
She's always a little bit right.
know.
Like the Mr. Miyagi winning an
Yeah.
Oscar was nominated.
Yep.
This, not no, but
Yeah.
this thing happened. So good job.
And one more segment that I'd like to bring up, which is the Who's That Guy? So the Who's That Guy for this one is, if anyone used to watch Family Feud as a child, the host that I would say was on the most when we were kids. So not like the super old man one, Richard, what the fuck is his name?
Dawson.
Yeah, Richard Dawson, the like totally creepy one who like kissed every female guest on the mouth, like sick, and not Louis Anderson or Steve Harvey, which are like the sort of modern ones. The one in the middle. I don't remember what that guy's name was, but he is the sheriff in this. Sadly, R.I.P., he committed suicide by hanging. Not sure when, but I remember when I heard that. His name might be Richard, too, actually.
Yeah, I think that was like the weird thing
Yeah.
about Family Feud. And because Richard Dawson died also.
Right.
But did he kill himself also? Or
No,
was
I
it,
think he
it was
was
like a
like-
Family Feud? Remember I remember watching
Yeah,
like
me
an E!
too.
True Hollywood story.
Yeah.
Like the Family Feud curse.
But he's like the sheriff or the police officer in this, and he's like so cute. And I'm just like, oh my god, that Family Feud guy! And that was definitely the best seasons of Family Feud when he was the host. I'm just gonna say.
What is that? Just because that was when we watched it on the 90s. And
Okay.
remember we had the board game
Ruin my
Family
dreams.
Feud.
Remember we had the computer game?
Yeah.
With like the little blue hard disc.
Remember when I had like 3 online boyfriends from playing Family Feud online when I was in
It was
high school?
hard. The Family Feud online
Yeah.
was
It
hard.
was good times. And then Mom found like a package that one of my online boyfriends sent me with like
No.
the new Limp Bizkit
Andre,
CD, and she got
sick.
so mad at me.
Oh my god, I'm mad at you right now.
It was fine.
I mean, that's like online predator
he
shit.
was your age.
Okay. Still not cool.
Yeah, it was weird.
Gross.
It's
gross, Josh.
I really blossomed on the internet, so it's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, so I think the time has come to read the Andrew line for you.
Right.
Because I'll be honest, I did not know what he was saying half the time.
His accent's
But you still cried, so it still
Yeah.
meant something to you. Okay. So Joanna
Wait,
says,
set it up. Set
so
the scene.
they're on the boat. Joanna has snuck down. Grant's asleep. Joanna snuck down to the crew to do tequila shots with them because that is her new lifestyle,
Yes.
and she chooses to have fun, which is great. So Andrew, the kind of the yacht butler, I guess
Yeah,
you would call
kind
him, is cleaning up the shots, and she's like, Andrew, everyone thinks I'm crazy. Do you think they're right? And then Andrew, in his best, it's a total Anthony Hopkins moment. I'll just say it. But he says, and I'll do my best, but I'm not him. So I'm sorry, it's not gonna be as good. Okay. So he says, "Oh no, madam. Oh no. Everyone is born with blinders on, knowing only that one station in life to which they are born. You, on the other hand, madam, have had the rare privilege of removing your bonds for just a spell, to see life from an entirely different perspective. How you choose to use that information is entirely up to you."
So good. It's like this perfect okay, so that actor is Roddy McDowall, who did a lot of stage work, but best known probably for the Planet of the Apes movies.
Was he an ape or
Yes,
a person?
he was an ape.
Oh.
So good, and he's obviously stands out as such a crazy good actor with the couple lines he had. Oh my God, it was so beautiful.
To be honest, I don't know many British actors that are bad just because I feel like,
Just the voice.
Yeah, it's just the accent and the voice. It's a trick. It's all a trick.
But they also
Smoke
all
and
go
mirrors,
through
guys.
like the Royal Academy of Shakespeare or whatever over there. Like, so.
I don't know. Yeah.
When
But
you're a
it is-
stage actor, though, I just feel like it is a great. You just
moment.
fucking sell
And I
shit.
think, especially in the 80s, there was this kind of trend with movies where they can sum up the whole movie like in somebody's line.
Yeah.
There's a few. I'm sure I could do research and find other movies that are like this as well, but it just sticks out as something that speaks to the 80s genre of this kind of film.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
So, yeah, it's a great line.
Beautiful-
great scene.
beautiful
Sweetie cried.
moment. I was
She
like,
was
"Ah."
embarrassed, but not really. But she was
Getting choked up.
just thinking about
My
it.
old
Did you cry
age.
when I recreated the line just now?
I mean, I got like a little like that goosebump feeling inside. Like not the inner goosebumps, not the outer goosebumps.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah. Also known as the chills.
The feels.
The feels.
I gave you the feels.
Give me the feels. Awesome movie, guys.
So good.
Really happy we covered it. I don't think we have any more Goldie Hawn movies. It's
What?
probably
First
the
Wives
one.
Club.
Yeah, well, that'll be later, but
Why?
I don't know. Just like it's a late
Who
90s or
cares? We're not going in order. We're not going in year order. We can do whatever we want.
eat your checkers.
Oh, good one. Good usage. Oh, we forgot to ask, why is Captain Carl so old?
You love that.
That was a good question. He is like 90 though.
Yeah, I
like,
don't know why the captain of that
in
boat
between
is so
him
old.
and the oldest fuck captain who's gonna die tomorrow, and then the guy who steers the boat with his feet falls asleep with his feet in the steering wheel. What's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on with
They
the security
need
on this boat?
some better employees on that boat. Though I do love the French chef. Croissants tomorrow.
And he's doing the Pee Wee Herman voice and like says the line in French in the Pee Wee Herman voice. He's like, "Je m'appelle Pee Wee Herman." Je suis homme.
So great.
It's great. It's pretty great. But yes, great movie. Oh, another question: was he friends with Billy Prophet? I mean, Billy Pruitt. What's Billy's name? Billy Pratt.
Wait, Mean Dean Prophet, Bad Billy Pratt.
Was he friends with him before?
Yeah.
But he just moved to this town. Did he just like?
I bet he grew up there. Because he's like Billy when
But
we
then
faked our
everybody would
IDs in
know
high
him.
school.
Yeah, but then everyone would know him. Maybe Billy moved there and he was like, "Oh, my buddy's living there. I'll go there."
Oh
too.
yeah, sure, maybe. But like, what why
I
doesn't
have a
anyone
lot of-
know him?
I have a lot of
Just the teacher
unanswered
didn't.
questions. I would also like to see the next chapter of this movie in which they all
Sequel.
are living together and they have money. I would like to know if they go full out, like super rich, or if they try to
Yeah.
live modestly. Like, I would just get like a nice house, not a big house, but
Yeah.
just a nice house and nice things. But
What do you think the name of the sequel would be? Overboard.
it would be Overboard 2, and then like something punny, like
Profits Take Manhattan.
Back in the Water or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Wait, Bad Billy Pratt, Mean Dean, Mean.
Why are we going back to that?
No, I'm trying to like make a
Oh.
title.
What, it's not about them.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to think about that one.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Another question I just
My
thought of.
God.
What is Gertie short for? Or is that just a name?
Gertrude.
Oh, duh. Oh my God. I thought I had like the key, you guys. I was like, oh, check this question
You
out.
should have asked me before we did the podcast. Now you feel
Well, because
dumb.
E.T., that Drew Barrymore's character's name is also Gertie, also
Gertrude.
in the 80s. Right. So now it makes sense. But speaking of, we should watch E.T. because I have not seen that movie the whole
That'll be
way
a
through
good
in
one.
a long time.
It's
I
so
don't really like
disturbing.
it, so we'll see
You
what
might like
happens.
love it when you watch
Well, that's
it
what I'm
now.
thinking. Like, I hated it as a
It's a
child because
classic.
it's kind of scared me and was
Yeah.
boring. So that's how I feel about
I love
that.
the older brother in that. He's so funny. That like redheaded kid.
We'll see. We'll
He's
see.
funny.
But yeah, so that's the flick.
Elliot.
We're not doing ET now. That's another time. Anything else you need to interject? I guess it's just me.
Yeah, you and all your damn questions.
Sorry.
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, great. All right. So thank you for listening. Please, 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 please leave us a review on iTunes. Please do it. Please.
Sweetie's gonna have a conniption.
I am. I'm just very upset about it.
Yeah.
Also follow us on on Twitter at the Sweetie Club and on Instagram at
Large March sent us. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors. Trying to do a word of mouth kind of thing. So, I mean, how do little podcasts grow?
I'm proud that you did it.
Yeah. See?
It only took a few months.
Well, you're like, you should do it. Last podcast, and I did it in between then
you
and
said
now.
you were going to do it like months ago.
I know.
Didn't.
Well, it's just
Sorry
it's
about
hard to get your bearings on Instagram. What direction do I
You
want to
had
take?
one job.
What kind of Instagrammer do I want to be? Do I want to use Hefe? Do I want to use
Hefe?
low rise? All the filters. I'm doing the filters.
But you're just posting.
Lo-fi?
You're just posting pictures.
Yeah, I don't do
not
filter.
photos. Okay. I mean, we will do photos, maybe.
Long
of
story
us.
short, follow the
Sorry.
Instagram.
Okay.
People.
Yes. Sorry. Yes, please do. Also, like us on Facebook. Don't just like our posts. Random people that have liked the picture that we posted, who we don't know.
Hey, thank you for doing that.
Oh
but
yes, thank you
don't
very
forget
much.
to like
but
the
also like the page. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
So
shameless self-emotion. Done.
well, we can do what we want. So thank you.
We can dance if we want to. Oh, we can leave your world behind. And if we don't dance, and if you don't dance, well, then no friends of mine. You're friends of ours. Thanks for listening.
We love you.
Bye.